Today is March the 1st, 2009, and this is the first of a series of what I hope will be regular video blogs about the state of the garden at 298 Commercial Way. Yesterday I did the first mowing of the lawn of the year, just to start to tidy things up. Prior to that I'd done a lot of chopping back and hacking back of dead plants and overgrown plants from last year, so this is a garden in its kind of most pruned back state at the moment. What I intend to do is on the 1st of every month for the next 6 months at least during the growing season, is to track the changes that happen in the garden over that period, and that will serve as a record from which we can build on in years to come and make comparisons with. It's been quite a harsh winter this year. We had a lot of snow early in February, and then it's been said to be one of the coldest winters for the last couple of decades, so it might have retarded the growing season a bit this year. You can see there's already quite a lot of growth. There is some narcissi down there, little daffodils, primulas or primroses, and the crocuses are out, and that's about it for now really. So we might go down and have a bit of a look at closer quarters shortly. So it's the 1st of March 2009 and I'm down in the garden at 298 just to have a look at how the plants are getting on at this early point in the spring. And we can see that there's quite a lot of activity down in this near bed. Crocuses are all coming out quite nicely. A few small narcissi down there. All flowers are kind of coming along. They'll be out probably in about another month. Towards the end of March, I would imagine more flowers will be out. I've chopped back a lot of the honeysuckle from last year to allow that to grow nice and vigorously. And there are various other plants that are looking slightly sorry for themselves. A few are coming out in small buds. But it's that kind of nice time of the year when things are just about beginning to wake up again. There's some nice crocus down there, nice isolated bunch. And looking further along, got quite a few narcissi and a few polyanthus and primroses further along in the beds. And then there's a whole stack of new things I've just bought with my winnings from the garden competition last year. I've been out to B&Q this weekend and bought some more new plants to start off. Some of them are a bit early actually, taking a bit of a risk. We've had a slightly warmer spell after an early cold snap, but there's some more frost forecast again next week, so I'm going to put this stuff in today and see if it survives. I want to get it out and settled early. Had the problems with spring sweet peas in previous couple of years because it's been quite dry, so I want to get them in a bit early this year and just see if I can get them established and robust before the growing season really starts in earnest. I'll just walk along the hedgerow and have a look at how things are getting on there. Assorted, quite dense plants. These will come out in beautiful yellow flowers very shortly, so that's always one of the pleasures of early spring, seeing this particular bush come out. I don't even know what it's called actually, but it's been one of the first things I planted here, and it's always a stunning success at the beginning of the season. Wandering down, I need to do something with this area. Foxes started digging a big hole here. It did used to be planted with lots of strawberries, but it's been overtaken by all this grass which I need to try and dig out, so that's a big job for the spring that I may or may not attempt because it's almost impossible to stop the grass coming back. Then we've got lots of daffodils and narcissi emerging, lots of wallflower, some of which are sort of left over from last year, looking a bit decrepit, but hopefully will spring back to life soon. Primroses, primulas, polyanthus, not quite sure which is which. Starting to wake up again. So I've done a lot of tidying up, a lot of hacking back of things, chopping back and burning, and see small remnants of bonfires over here. So a quick look at the beds. And some of these are big perennials that will eventually come back over the course of the spring, but looking a bit sort of sorry now at this time of the year. And there's the remnants of a couple of bonfires I've had in the last few weeks, trying to get rid of all the surplus stuff from last year. Chopping back things like mint and thyme around here. Still could do with a bit more tidying up. It's an endless job once you start digging things up. And here these are all various kind of fruit bushes, a few raspberries, gooseberries, blackberries, which are just showing signs of coming back into life again. These have all been chopped back, and all the leaves here, I've decided to put the leaves that I've tidied up from under the cherry tree over here as a kind of mulch to try and suppress the weeds and also grow into the ground as compost once they've rotted down. So what was I going to do next? Oh yeah, just have a look at a few plants. Just cut the lawn, so I've tidied it up a bit. All this stuff over here has been completely cut back, all the brambles that were all over the place. Every year I go in and sort of dig through the thicket and tidy things back before the new growth begins. One of the problems is this bloody long grass. I don't know how I'm going to kind of manage to dig all that out and stop it from growing. It's impossible, but I need to do a bit more tidying on that, I think, in the spring. And then just finally looking at some new plants bought yesterday. There's some sweet peas, which, as I say, are a bit of a risk at this time of the year, but I thought I'd get them going early and see if we can have a better crop than in previous couple of years. Some primroses that were reduced for some reason at B&Q, and look as though they're all ready to start budding, so I don't know why they've reduced them, but I think that could be a good bargain. See how they got on, a bit of early spring colour. And then these are 4 plants called Cistus or Sun Rose, which, as you can see, have these lovely sort of papery flowers that I think come out early spring, or early summer, maybe May time, I'm hoping. 2 reddy purpley ones and 2 white ones, which have got slightly different foliage, so got to decide where they're going to go. So it's a problem in quite a dense garden to find space, but anyway, that's the plan. So just have one final view of the early March garden, and then we'll knock off and come back in early April and see how things look then.